How are we doing, guys? It's Luke here for SimBoxx. We're down at Chadderton Boxing Club. Delighted to be joined by the current light heavyweight European champion, Brad Ray. Brad, how are we doing?
I'm all good, mate. Still feels good to hear you say that. Light heavyweight European champion.
Hey, it feels good for you to hear that. It's good for me to hear you on the SimBoxx channel. Again, I've been chasing you down for a couple of years now, so I've been stalking you enough to find you at Chadderton Boxing Club.
Yeah, no, mate. Good to be back on. Like I say, mate, I've been doing interviews from the smaller shows with you. So, yeah, mate, I won't forget you. Don't worry. No, I'm getting on.
That's the one, my mate. Brad, before we get into the fight and everything that comes along with it, talk to us about being at these, as we said off camera before, spit and sawdust gyms, these kids that might go down the wrong path, they might not have much going on. But boxing gives them that desire, that focus, doesn't it? And you'll have memories of being in these kind of gyms yourself back in the day. The importance for the community of having gyms like this around.
Yeah, massively important, mate. Massively. Like I say, I seen it firsthand with my mum and dad, gym in Chadderton, St John's. I was in there Monday to Friday. 5 days a week from the age of 10 right up to 18, you know what I mean? Like, grew up in a gym like this, moulded in a gym like this, and it really does make a difference. Like I say, you see how packed this session was tonight, absolutely rammed, and like I say, who knows what these kids could be up to if they weren't in there tonight, if they weren't in the gym. So it's nice to, like I say, something to focus on, something to channel the energy to, and what better than boxing?
Yeah, absolutely. And there was a moment there. Forgive me, the young lad that you got in on the pads. There'll be footage, I'm sure, on the Queensbury YouTube channel of it. But that's just a proper feel-good moment. He got a round of applause from all the other young boxers when he got out the ring, and that was just a proper. That's what it's all about. Isn't it? There's not many sports where these kids are going to meet the current European champion. And it means a lot, doesn't it? That'll fuel the desire to go and achieve things in themselves.
Yeah, definitely, but that's still so surreal to me, you know what I mean? That people are like looking up to me and seeing me as like, I was like a Monday, you know what I mean? I 10 years ago, I was like them kids in the amateur gyms. So it is surreal for me, but I remember being that age, and I remember, meeting the Ricky Hattons, the Andy Collars, meeting the Jamie Moores and these types of fighters, whether it is in gyms or at shows, giving out trophies. I remember that, and I remember how buzzing I used to be to go and get a picture with him, and you know what I mean. So like, if that's now me to this next generation coming through, like me, it means a lot. It really does mean a lot.
Definitely, we've got a few things I'd like to speak to you about, so we'll move on. November 1st, big fight, big local derby, Lyndon Arthur, European title on the line. Excited for this one, Brad?
Yeah, massively. That. Really looking forward to it. We're close now, two weeks Saturday, and I'm looking forward to it. It's a big fight, it's a massive fight, my biggest fight of my career today, without a doubt. And I'm looking at making a statement and looking at showing people what I can do. It's my first fight, Queensbury, my first fight promoted by Frank Warren, and he's got that pool of light heavyweights. I need to try and make myself stand out for some reason, you know what I mean? I need them to look at me and go, you know what, we need to back this kid. We need to bring a show back to Manchester, you know what I mean? Headline in Manchester, whatever, I need to make myself stand out somehow. And that's my task, that's what I'm going to try and do November 1st.
The word timing is used a lot in boxing, whether it be timing of the punches or timing of the fights. Do you think this timing of you against Lyndon Arthur is right for you, that you're on the come up and maybe Lyndon's seen his best days? That I think you said in the press conference that you're hungrier than him, and he took offence to that. Do you think it's all about timing this fight?
I don't know if Lyndon has, you know what I mean, seen better days, like you say there, because although he lost against Yarden in that last fight, I thought he boxed very well. I thought he boxed a lot better than the second fight.
Yep.
I thought he's shown improvements, and he corrected a lot of things where he went wrong. So if you're going off your last fight, although, you know what I mean, he didn't get the decision, it improved. But I think the timing's right for me. I think the timing's right for me. I think this is my time now, where I've had a tough couple of years. You know what I mean? I've had ups and downs. It's been a bit rocky, but I feel like this is the time now where I really push on and I take myself to the level that I've always believed I can get to.
Absolutely. The Queensbury stable, you've got the backing now of promoter Frank Warren. That gives you that security, because like you say, you did kind of go out into the wilderness. There wasn't that security there. You went back to the small hall scene, you've rebuilt yourself after the loss of Tyler Denny. So how important it is that to have that knowledge, that backing, that you don't have to panic where your next fight date's coming from. That you know you're with the promoter with arguably the best light heavyweight stable in the sport.
Yeah, that's it. It's having that security. It's having that backing, which I've not had. You know, which was I was sat at home training my ass off day in day out, saying I'll fight any light heavyweight in the country. You know, and I was staying ready, I was staying prepared, and then, you know, I didn't have anyone to give me a date, to give me a big fight. So now I do. You know what I mean? Yeah. Now I do. Now I've got that backing, so I've got that security. But I know that if I lose against Lyndon Arthur, just back to square one, forgotten about. You know what I mean? I can't afford that. Can't afford that with the few years that I've had.
Absolutely. You know, an interesting question I'll put to you. You're the defending champion. Lyndon's been in the bigger fights and the bigger events. Who has more to lose in this fight?
Me.
You think?
Yeah, because I've got a belt.
Yeah.
My belt, that's the thing for me at the moment. That's my bargaining chip to get big fights, for people to want to come and fight me. Yeah. Like, if I don't have that, I'm just another light heavyweight.
Here's one for you, Brad, as well, again, to put you on the spot a little bit, but we've seen a thing on social media today to do with the Matchroom show out in Monte Carlo that the IBO wouldn't sanction an IBO world title defence if it was with the European title. Which of the two would you, and I don't want you to get yourself into trouble, but which of the two would you rank higher, European title or IBO world title?
European. EBU, yeah. EBU, it's got to be EBU, because it's one of the most prestigious belts about. You know what I mean? Between Lonsdale title, EBU, and then your four main, you know what I mean? Yeah. For a British fighter, they're the three most prestigious titles you can pick up. You know, there's a lot of filtered down, you know, watered down titles, big names, nobody knows what they mean. And look, they're good. Look, they give us a chance to pick up titles. It's good for the people who are buying tickets for us. It gets fighters ranked higher up. And yeah, but them belts, they're real belts. Yeah. You know what I mean? They're proper belts. But I'm a proper boxing fan, mate. Yeah. Before I'm a fighter, I'm a boxing fan. Yeah. Like, so I know, like, if I could win 3 belts in my career, it'd be British, EBU, European, and world. One of the worlds. You know what I mean?
So is he still a desire to step back and I say step back respectfully, but would you go back and get that British title? Louis Edmondson and Ezra Taylor, I think it is, fighting for that.
Yeah, I've made it very clear. I want a British title. I always have done. Yeah. I've said that. You'll go back to interviews probably we've done when I was 21, 22 years old. British title has always been a massive goal of mine, and earlier on in my career it was probably, I would have been happy retiring British champion, winning the British title outright. You know, I never thought it was my ceiling, but you know, that was always the goal. I just love growing up watching British title fights, and then British title fights bring out something in, you know, the two fighters that other titles, other fights don't. You know, you more Macklins and these type of fights. Like, I want to be in these fights. You know what I mean? That's what I grew up on. Yeah. That's when I fell in love with boxing, watching them type of fights, and I want to be in them fights.
Absolutely. Now, you know, it's never easy in boxing to plan too far ahead, is it? But it seems so very logical that Brad Ray against Lyndon Arthur, European title on the line, Ezra Taylor challenging Louis Edmondson, British title on the line. That somewhere down the line it's European, it's British title. You know, it seems so logical, doesn't it?
All the marbles, it's got to happen. All with the same promoters. I'm sure whoever wins that fight wants my title. Yeah. I want their title. Right? It makes sense. It makes sense. Very easy fight to make because I believe Edmondson and Ezra Taylor are both similar mentality to me. Game has, they do, which is good now because there was a lot. It used to be boxing, people kind of tiptoeing around certain routes. Certain divisions aren't like that anymore, and if I don't think the light heavyweight division is, I think we all do.
There's too many names about, isn't there, for it to be like that, yeah.
And I think we all do want to fight each other, and we all do want to find out who the best is, which is what it's all about. And before I'm a fighter, like I say, as a boxing fan, it's nice to hear. Yeah. If I wasn't a light heavyweight, I'd be like, yeah, good division, that. You know what I mean? It's going to be some good fights in that. But I am, so I've just got to try and beat everyone in my path.
Yeah, just before we move on, just a quick one on that. Louis Edmondson, Ezra Taylor, who are you favouring there?
I'm going to go Edmondson points, I think. Yeah, I am. It's tricky, Edmondson. I think he's.
Who do you think's the better fight for you then? I'll put it to you that way. Who do you think, if you're victorious against Lyndon Arthur, sorry, of that fight, who's the better fight for you?
Yeah, no, beat them both.
Silly question, really.
That's my mentality. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like I'll beat them both. So whoever. But look, they're both very good fighters, and I'm looking forward to that fight.
Yeah, it's a good fight. We were saying about the Queensberry having a strong hold on the light heavyweight division. Take yourself out of the mix, because I know your ego, your pride, had put yourself at number one. Take yourself out of the mix. Who do you see as the number one light heavyweight in the country at the minute?
In the country?
Yeah, you got Yard, you got Colin Smith, you got Boat.
Colin Smith still.
You still got Colin Smith at number one.
But I think I've got a soft spot for him, because I'm still a little 16-year-old kid watching him, trying to be like him. And like I think he's shown in the Boatsi fight, he's still got it. There was questions about him. People were asking questions, but he's shown in the Boatsi fight, he's still got it. But the division's just so stacked up at the top.
Yeah.
You know, like I think he is the best in the country, but you look in the world. You know, there's talk to him fighting David Morrell, which I think is a great fighter, and then like. I'm a big Benavidez fan, me.
Well, you know, you segue straight into the next question. Talk to me about Anti-Yard challenging David Benavidez. It's a tough ask, isn't it?
I think Benavidez beats a lot. I think he beats Bivol and Beterbiev. I really do. Yeah, like
interesting. I'm going to sound like this, don't you?
Yeah,
you set yourself up
when it happens.
No,
when it happens, it's just such an handful.
Yeah,
he's such an handful, and like I know, look, he has been had his chin tested a little bit, and I know, look. I think Beterbiev is a better. I think he beats Bivol. I really do think he beats Bivol.
I guess it's one of those, and styles make fights. Because you think if Benavidez gets into a fight with Beterbiev, there's not many that beat Beterbiev in a fight, is there?
But like he's getting to that age now, Beterbiev, where he just get outworked and get it with 18 consecutive hooks. You know what I mean? That's what Benavidez can do.
Moving on from that, you know, we'll talk about the top echelons of the division, both in the country and on the world team. Ben Whittaker signed with Matchroom recently. You know, the announcement video on social media was brilliant, whether you love it or hate it. You know, it got everyone talking. What's your thoughts on Ben Whittaker? Do you think he's somebody that's going to gate crash the very top levels?
So talented, mate. So talented. One of the most talented kids I've ever seen. But yeah, look, his career's just not. From the way he's been talking, the career's just not gone that way. Eddie knows what he's doing, you know what I mean? If anyone can do it, you know, he might take him out to America, try and build him. It's Eddie, but you know, if he's saying I'm the best light heavyweight, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, he's gonna have to go and back it up.
Yeah.
And look, boxing fans very impatient, like. You want it now, you know what I mean? If you say you're going to do this, you're going to do that, boxing fans, we want you to go and do it now. But look, he's had a bit of time where he could maybe make some changes and adjustments. And look, new promotional team, working with Andy Lee, who's, you know what I mean? I think Andy Lee's a great coach. So look, I think after the next fight, we'll get a good look and you'll know a lot more.
Yeah.
But he's one of the most talented kids I've ever seen. But you need more than that to make it in the pro game. It's not the amateur game, and it's down to him to go and answer them questions.
Absolutely, Brad. One subject I wanted to get your thoughts on was passing of Ricky Hatton, the late great Ricky Hatton. I know he's somebody that was super close to you, to many of us. You know, I grew up in Manchester myself as a boxing fan. He was the first guy that was ever a megastar to me, you know. Passed away before his time, very tragic, but what a send-off for a Manchester legend. There's no such thing as a good funeral, but Manchester done him proud on Friday.
100%. Like you say, you wouldn't expect anything less from Rick. But like, look, who else would have got a reception like that? Never mind boxers. Who else in Manchester would have got, you know, a send-off like that? Maybe Liam or Noel. You know what I mean? Like, I can't think of anyone else.
Yeah.
You know, and it just shown that how loved he was, and you know how much he meant to so many people, because he was one of us.
Yeah.
He was one of us. He never thought he was anything different. He never thought he was better than anyone. No, he never thought he was something he wasn't. You know, no matter how big he made it, how many titles he won, how much money he made, like he was always just one of us at the end of the day. And that was why he was so loved, and he meant so much to so many people.
Absolutely. You know, if you used to look back, he was a friend of yours, he was a coach, he was in your corner, he was a friend first and foremost. Was there ever one particular bit of advice that he ever give you that sticks in your mind to this day?
I wouldn't even say it was advice. It was just, I remember before the first time I boxed at Manchester Arena, and we were in the changing room, and I was on at about 5 o'clock or something. You know what I mean? Probably about 100 people in there. But like, he just basically said to me, look, he said, do you know how many times I've been in the situation, in this very changing room you're in now, getting ready to go out? And he was like, I went and done it. You know what I mean? I was like, you sat there one day, he was like, I went and done it. Basically, why can't you go and do it? You know what I mean? You're good enough. And it, you know, he was like, showing that he believed in me, and he did believe that I was good enough to get to that stage. And even, you know, when I wasn't fighting out of his gym anymore, and when I wasn't, you know, coached by a player like the team, like, I know that, you know, he still supported me, and that meant a lot. Like when he come out to Blackpool and watch me fight, and then, you know, I'd see him out in the pub after my fights, and, you know, we'd have a few Guinness, and, you know, it was nice. It was nice that, you know, I still got that support from him.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I'd just like to say rest in peace, Ricky Hatton. Our thoughts and condolences with his family and friends. As the boxing world does, it moves on. November 1st, biggest fight of your career. Just to close that, Brad, tell us how it goes down. Fight night, first bell goes, you and Lyndon and the ref in the ring, nobody else. How's the fight go?
Yeah, probably.
Without giving away too much of the game plan, of course.
Just get my head jabbed off for a little bit. Probably eating consecutive jabs one after another. And, you know, I'm going to get the job done. I'm going to come out with my hand raised up, with that belt around my waist still, and look at pushing on. Yeah. But look, this is a big fight for me, and like I say, I've got a lot to lose, so it's down to me to go and get the job done.
Absolutely, Brad. It's always a pleasure to have you on the channel. With SimBoxx, you've been very courteous with your time over the years with us, so I really appreciate that. Thanks for your time tonight. Best of luck. Come fight me.
Man, thank you.